Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Still in an Airbnb?
Hmm?
Are you still in an Airbnb?
Yeah, I will be here for a month or
Oh,
so.
okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. This morning I danced through every room in my underwear. That's the best thing ever.
Awesome.
Uh,
Cool. So, how are you feeling today?
Um, I kind of think I've been asking for this. I want my own space. Here we are.
And how did this Airbnb happen?
Um, the events of my uncle, they actually got this Airbnb because they were going to do hospice care out of this,
Mm.
but then ended up going to Thailand.
Uh-huh.
And so this was just kind of sitting here,
Mm.
and been here. I've been here since everyone got here. And I was like, "Okay, mom, bye. I live here now." That's how that happened.
Great. When I was at this women's conference last weekend,
Hmm.
wait,
Friday.
last week, yeah, Friday, Saturday. I was like, what fucking day is it? Like, what is time? That's what happened. It was like, um, this woman, I got there late both days. And on Saturday, when I walked in, this woman was talking about she had asked her guides for, yeah, yeah, yeah. She's like, if this is right, show me a snake and asked for it and like opened her eyes and like a snake came like actually 3D in real life. And this this is the part. She's like, I mean, if I was just sitting there and a snake passed me, I would have been super fucking scared, you know? But I asked for it.
Yeah.
And when you acknowledge that you called it in,
Yeah.
there's no more fear. And I've been thinking about this a lot in the ways that we have called in our current situation because we are always manifesting, right? And so
Yeah.
even in the parts that are like, bleh, whatever, when we acknowledge that we created those, they are less snake like, right?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I made that. Like, cool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am also not surprised to see this Airbnb for you.
Yeah. And just like the amount of times I said space and the amount of space in here.
Was it huge?
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Like I don't even know. There's like 5 rooms. The master bedroom's like half the house at the top here. And then all these other rooms, office, dining room. And I'm just like in the corner room, like not even in the master. I just picked a corner room because there's a balcony,
Hmm.
and I didn't notice the rainbow tapestry until I was like deep in my process one day and I was crying. And then I was on the phone, and then I looked up and I was like, "You've been there this whole time, right?" Yeah, okay. But I'm just seeing you now. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow. Mm.
yeah, casually.
Casually, casually. And the guides appear when the student's ready.
Yeah.
I've been here the whole time,
Yeah.
casually. When you're ready, on your own time, I'll be over here.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah. Um, and I was like, I picked that room. There's the first, I was like, this one feels good. But then I second guessed myself and went into another room the first night. And I slept in there and I just kept thinking about this room. I was like, no, this one's it. Didn't see the rainbow yet, but it is it. It's it. And I feel really fucking good. Um, as you, I think yeah, you've been with me through the whole unraveling. I was very, very charged, like emotionally, before I got into nightshades, like the the 2 days prior. Um, all my all my stuff came up and I was triggered and got into nightshades. And after that, I felt better. And then I had like one last conversation with someone, and they were like, you just give them your terms and conditions, right? For this job situation. And she kind of like laid it out all out for me. Like, this is what you would ask for because there's, um, I don't know, she came up with all these things. And in my body, I was just like, there's no amount of money that feels surmountable, like saying yes. But after like this whole conversation and I got off, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm a no because I want ease. This does not feel it for me. And that felt very, 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 very clear. Um, yeah. And I let everyone know yesterday. And that was that. That was that.
Mhm. How did that go yesterday?
Um, it was just like in a text because everyone texted me and I was like, I'm just gonna text back. I'm not gonna make this any harder on myself.
Yeah.
So I just simply said, um, hi, sorry, no, I can't. And then I got messaged by like two managers from there. And one guy, like I like him and he was funny, but I was just like, he said, are you coming? Are you coming back or something? I was like, no, I'm not. That's it. And then he sent me all these other things, but I just didn't reply. And there was really, it didn't feel like there was, it didn't feel like there was much of anything else after that for me, other than like, I think just wanting to like speak my piece today. Like that felt like some timeline collapsing shit. Um,
Hmm.
and like, if you will, if you want to call it ancestral things.
Totally.
Um, but the conversations that came up for me and my mom were also really cool. Because she basically was like, she knew I was a no when this like when it first arose, and I was like, it's a no for me. And she was just like, this is what you do for family, right?
Mm.
I was like,
Oh.
I was like, this is what you do for family. I think I
Ah,
said that. But she's like, yeah, that's how I operate. And I understand that you don't operate like that. And she even said, like, I'm glad that you don't. Right. And I was just expressing how I felt. And I was like, this isn't okay. I understand the severity of the situation, but this is a pattern. Like this, how things happen like this happens, whether or not there's a situation at hand. And she, the whole time, she's just like, I know, I know. And she basically told me, like, she didn't say these exact words, but she basically told me to hold my tongue. And then she retracted and was like, actually, that's me telling you what to do. If that's how you feel, then say how you feel. And I was like, that was really big. Cool.
oh, mom.
Yeah. And I debriefed with her that night too. I was like, I just want to acknowledge like how big that was,
Ah,
and like the work that I've been doing and growing through is a testament to like this moment right here. Um and I was able to articulate like, I understand that this is family. And I was like, I consider you, I'm like, you're my family. She's like, oh, thank you. I'm so privileged. I only birthed you. It was the way that it came out was like kind of sharp. Um, and I was like, but this isn't, but you and I don't operate like this. You respect me and I respect you. And we don't do things out of obligation or expectation. That's why it's not okay. And she was like, yeah, you're right.
yeah.
um but just being able to like articulate that, and it was more than anything, this is for me to like be clear. And I know, and I don't, I was pretty charged on it, so I knew it wasn't like, I knew I was wounded too, like a lot of the things that I was feeling and saying were wounded, but there, it's mostly true, cleared from, purified from the wounds and my own stuff. Um, but yeah, I think it was really big for the both of us. No, it was. I don't think. But and that has made a lot of space for me as well in my business. Because I was like, well, if I'm like willing to do that, then what's so hard about what have been my qualms about showing up for my readings? Like just doing, like allowing myself to do this for support, like to support myself.
Ah,
It just, there was something that shifted there in the way that I was willing to show up.
yeah.
um and yeah, there, I feel like there's so much space in my body now. and and our relationship building templates, I think, really, um well, I keep saying I think, they have really supported me through this like transition. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
It's really cool. Yeah. I'm I keep being I keep being amazed by last week when your part was like, I'm gonna need some evidence that this woman king shit worked. And like I'm just like seeing it as you are. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And even that conversation last week about masculine, um, like that allowed us speaking about him, allowed for him to show up. And I
Mm,
watched him all week last week, like my
yeah,
masculine.
yeah,
And even the choosing into like, I'm gonna go to Thailand, like I could feel him stand still and be present and like his readiness in the ways that felt so like solid and true and not like I'm gonna do this, you know.
yeah,
um, and that I had to talk him through like the pain of like being unseen, of like that completely shifting when he was like preparing himself and like at the ready and then being shot down in a way. um and you know like that surfaced my little one like I don't feel seen or heard right now, you know, disregarded. But I really had to talk him through and just like see him in that, like, no, you're doing great, I love you. Like that was amazing and I see you, you know.
you're
Yeah.
so cool, so good.
It is. It's been, it is so cool. It's been so cool. And my readings went so well yesterday, but I
Mm,
feel like because of this movement.
yeah, yeah, because you're on, you're
Yeah.
in your truth.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I also feel so clear. I felt so clear of like, as a reader, like I'm not here to tell you your future, tell you what to do or
yeah,
how to do it. Like, I'm really here to just remind you of who the fuck you are, like who
mm,
you already fucking know that you are. And that's pretty much it. I feel like that rings the truest through this whole experience so far of like the readings. Because I'm like, most of the time, I'm just letting people talk themselves through whatever they're going through, like basically what we do, just under the guise of like, this is a reading.
right.
And
Yeah,
I've also gathered like, you know, I'm like, these are my spaces. Blah, blah, blah. It feels like, oh, because you're going into these spaces and telling people like, hey, this isn't it. It's you. It's been you this whole time. I'm just reminding you over here in my corner. Come see me. uh, yeah.
you feel really good.
Yeah.
You feel soft and tall and um, glowing isn't the right term, but like so visibly you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Violet, I have to let Biff in. Hang on.
Okay. Cue Biff.
And Well, congratulations.
Thank
That's like a great word.
you. I'll receive that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is it. This is God, every time I hit the like the core of what we do, why we do, like it's so simple. It's so simple here.
Yeah.
You know? But this is it. So that we can navigate truthfully.
Yeah.
Sounds so simple.
I know.
And to get here is not so simple.
I know. Yeah.
But actually like moving from this place too, like is also simple. You know, when we've moved all the stuff that we've done together for years now, and now we get to be in the moment and in our bodies and like true, not true, cool, go true way.
Yeah.
It becomes quite simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like this is not your it's not the first time that you have been um true to yourself or done some woman king stuff, you know, like you have been even before you said yes to woman king, like we've been celebrating you all along the way.
Yeah.
But this feels like an incredible culmination.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
And like modeling that for your mom and holding her to the relationship that you are choosing with your mom, like mom, this is the relationship that we have, it's not like that, like
Yeah.
that's I'm excited for your mom. I'm
Yeah.
excited for you in the way that you held your mom. Yeah.
It's,
Huge ancestral quantum
yeah.
things. Yeah.
It feels so fresh. Like there's this expansive freshness that's now like just in the air between the both of us. And it's so light. You know how like people talk about spiritual bypassing and what we're experiencing now, we're just talking about things matter of factly. That can sound bypassy, I feel like,
Mm.
but is not. And this brings me back to like when you say clean, like cleaning it up. I remember the first time you told me that, I was like, wait, how do I do that? Wait, what does that mean? Like I got it, but I couldn't get it. And now this is, oh, you move through your stuff, you move through and then find the truth and find the truth again, find the truth again, find the truth again.
Yeah. I don't, I'm aware that using the word clean, like clean energy,
Yeah.
doesn't land fully
Yeah.
until it lands fully,
Yeah.
but I don't have another word for it. Like it's simply clean. So I
Yeah.
haven't found like better language to hit the spot for not just you, but for anyone, just like using that word in the world.
Yeah.
I haven't quite found the language for that. But when you know it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
There's a word that I've been using, but I feel like can be a triggering word is just like purification. But for me, I'm like, yeah, that's the word for me right now. But a lot of this process feels like that. Like, but purification with fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that triggering? Is it religious?
Yeah.
Out of
That's what I kind of gather from. It's like when we say God, or like, yeah, God. It's God for me. So I feel that's just kind of, yeah, I feel like it's religious.
yeah.
That just could be my
Purify
interpretation.
your sins.
Yeah.
This is so not my territory. I'm like, are these the words we use here? This is it?
Um,
Yeah, I think you're right. Man, there's so many words to energetically reclaim in the world.
yeah. So many. But it's all, it feels like this, a purification process. Like out, call it alchemy, if you will. That's just that's what it is. It's neutralize the charge. Hyper.
Love the charge. Dude, that has been my favorite. Is that my favorite? That's been a favorite within Valkyries. Like when I'm dropping in, it kind of has some elements of Serena to it too. I can like hear Serena in it. And I don't know if she says this exactly.
Mhm.
Um, but when she'll say something like, choose your shape, inhabit the shape, and then drop it.
Uh-huh.
And I've been saying that for charge. So like taking Valkyries through drop in through some kind of process or practice, I'll be like, feel the charge and then leave it. And
Yeah.
I have no idea if this lands or not. Like, I don't know if this is something that is like, is this just like advanced embodiment energetics where you and I can be like, ooh, there's the charge, choice, drop it.
Yeah.
Or is that available to everyone? I don't know, but I'm usually using it because it feels true.
Yeah.
And like, what if it is that easy?
What if it is that easy?
See the pattern, don't pattern it.
Yeah.
What it
Yeah. What if it is that easy? It's my favorite thing. It's it's been a joy to really test. I don't like that word. Test that for myself. It's like, oh, can this be easy? What does that feel like? What does easy business feel like?
Mhm. Why don't
Like
you like the word
easy money.
test?
because because of the Bible. God is testing you. Probably school, actually. Like, this is a test. I don't know anything. That's what
Yeah.
happened to me today. I went for a walk with my friend. I didn't know if this was going to come through, but here it is. And she was like, "Oh, bring your cards. We'll play around." But she's like spirit guide reader, like I've mentored under her. And every time I've done a reading for her before, but I'm always like, I don't know. And that came up today. And I left thinking like, oh, did I even what Oh my God. Did I do the thing? But that spot, God damn it. It's like, oh, I don't know anything. Bitch, what? What the fuck were you doing last night? What the fuck are you doing? Like,
This spot,
yeah.
um, it'll change.
Okay.
I,
I-
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
As I talked myself through it as I was driving back home, and when I was hearing myself talk myself through, what the fuck? When I was
Mhm.
hearing myself talk
Got you.
myself through it, it reminded me of when I would first do readings and I would go through this process of like, oh, I talking myself through it, talking myself through the, did I deliver or did I, oh, I forgot to tell them this, or oh, wasn't feeling into this part that wanted to come through because I was too worried about not knowing.
Yeah,
So it was kind of like a similar process to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have found specifically in this spot, in being in friendship with a woman who I see as being really fucking powerful,
Yeah.
and my own stuff of like, she's more powerful than me, which is a dysregulation,
Hmm.
right? And
Hmm.
like I have seen this change in myself over time, in specifically in that relationship. Like time has been the biggest thing, just like continuing to meet and like seeing myself. I'm like, Carl, bitch, please.
Bitch.
Um, um, which also like over time, their human is more and more revealed too, you know.
Yeah.
But like what time does in any relationship is regulation. It's like, all right, our bodies are safe to be exactly as they are.
Yeah.
So when I first started hanging out with Jennifer Joseph, I was like, I can't hang.
Yeah.
And the longer I kept choosing into that relationship, I was like, oh, no, no, no. Like she's also a human
Yeah.
and we need each other equally. Like this
Yeah.
is not about a like more powerful than,
Yeah.
but my system had to learn it. And when we're regulated, then we can channel some crazy shit. And when we're not, we're like, oh, what is this? I don't know. I've never seen that before.
My body doesn't feel anything. There's no signal. I'm numb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun. I also just like revealed the healer card. I'm like, I didn't know that was in my hand.
Oh.
Cool. Let's pull you back. Where'd you go?
More snakes. Um,
I feel like there was something else. What was it? There's something. One of the cards in the alchemy deck keeps calling from across the room, so I'll grab that.
yeah.
It's like, hello. I know. I just sat down. Can you give me a sec? I also just pulled the box and the healer of note, things of note.
And the healer. Whoa. That was releasing some things in my belly.
Things in your belly.
Yeah. Okay. And also, not to mention all the already signs of this place being a manifestation, but there's a hammock outside
Mm.
in the backyard, which I haven't laid in yet. I'm just reminded because I wrote I started part of my golden story and hammock was in there.
Mm.
Lots of hammock time. That's what it says.
Oh, did you say you needed a hammock? Here you go. Right here. No problem.
Thank you.
Is there something that you is there something that you want to ask the alchemy deck?
There's something that I want to ask the alchemy deck. Nope, not that I can think of.
Okay. Um, just feel it then. Just connect to the alchemy deck via however you connect to it.
There's something like in my belly that's present, like solar plexus to heart. Um, yeah. And it feels opening, like it's opening.
Mm. Do you know what it is?
Mm, no, it just feels like a space opened,
Mm.
and um, I think I more than likely hold a lot there, like diaphragm area, belly, and it just feels like it's loosened.
Mm.
New feels like new territory.
Mm.
Yeah. I also have a comment. Last week we left on something about nature, your business being something about nature, me, my business being something.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with my friend yesterday, and she was just like, whenever you're ready, and it's not right now, it doesn't have to be right now, but let me know when you're ready to like teach me about nature things, like how to communicate with nature. And I had it. There was no, she just dropped, this is how she just dropped in. I was like, okay, so basically, like, I want you to mentor me. Like, okay.
So did you say yes?
I said yes, but I also said, I don't know what it is yet.
Uh-huh.
And that's, that's, that's that.
Yeah. I think
I
I think you got to move now.
gotta move now. Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, you have a person who's like, "Let's do the thing." I don't know what the thing is, and you're like, "I don't either." But what a perfect person to figure it out with.
Okay.
Let's go find out.
Let's go find out.
That's how we find out is we find out.
Right.
Let me give you this gentle and obvious nudge as your
Yeah.
coach. You should say yes now. I'm ready now.
Okay. Yes, now the rest will do its thing. Yes. I'm a yes. Yes.
Yeah, don't overthink it. Just start playing.
Okay.
I love that. Wow, I feel so excited in my chest for you for this. I just tried to like put the deck down and look at the book and I'm like I literally the post that I wrote this morning was about how I when I chose when I said yes, I don't fucking know, but I was like, I want to be a coach. And I like said it. And I remember saying it to Sean. I was so nervous. I was like, I think I want to do this thing. And he was like, okay. He's always been like that. He's always like, okay.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I'm going to be a personal trainer. And he was like, okay. And then, like, a couple days later, this guy that I grew up with on Facebook was like, I need a personal trainer. And I was like, just say yes. You say yes, you figure it out later.
Okay.
Okay. I don't even know what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? Like, blinded by excitement.
Oh,
As these, I don't know, these alchemy cards, they'll let me know when they're ready. Things are just,
okay.
they kind of feel like I do. That's just like, ah, like I'm so excited to be out of the box. Like, cool. What are we trying to say here?
Sure.
Pull it together.
Uh,
Um, do you have a desire or intention or direction for this call? Do you have anything specifically you want to leave with or work through? Or are we just playing? What do you think? What do you feel?
um, I feel like we're just playing in this new space. Like, I really just wanted to debrief that, and then that was all I really wanted.
Okay, that's what I felt as well. I also feel this space like this feels important to say before we're gonna do what we're gonna do. I don't know what that is. Um, but the space in you that feels opening, that like new spaciousness feels it's like reminding me, I feel like this was on one of our very last Valkyries One calls where we're like, okay, I've moved all that,
Yeah.
whatever that was. And now here's this new space. What the fuck do I do with it? But this feels different,
Mm.
where in that space, myself included, we were all probably running like wounded maiden energetics that are like, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
It's scary. And we're like, cool, we're acknowledging the scary, but like it's still scary. But now in this space, there's like, here's this space, here's this vessel, here's this womb, this nurturing space to grow and birth something from. And it feels like good,
Yeah.
like earthed
Yeah.
and solid, even though it's totally insolid.
Yeah.
I know that's not a word. The lack of solid, it's the
Yeah.
opposite of that, but it feels like new space,
Yeah.
new space. Clear on desire, actually. Like the first time through, The first time through feels like, okay, so here's this new space. However, what do we fill the space with when we're not yet clear on desire and we don't yet have full embodied permission to desire? And
Mhm.
now this new one is like, I know what the fuck I want and I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Did that land? I don't totally know what I just said. That was really good.
Good thing it's recorded. Uh, yeah, it's all here in the body. Um, because even with the empty space at the beginning in the first one, it was like, well, what do I fill it with? I have to do something. And the masculine's like, there's an empty room, we gotta put
Okay,
stuff in
coach.
it.
We can put stuff in it.
Bro, you don't even know what you're getting prepared for. Like, you
It's
could
like I've
be
got a bunch of
driving off a
chairs.
cliff. Like, no, not yet. Uh,
Mm, yeah. Bro, you don't even. No, you can't. I don't want a TV in here.
yeah. Uh,
Okay, I gotta lay these on the floor.
okay.
Okay, so to speak this out before I pull them, I've asked the cards for something about this new space in your belly, what you're growing, what you're birthing, or what you need to know. Is there anything else you want to throw in the spaciousness
I'm growing.
spaciousness card mix?
What I need to know. No, I just got blasted with this like fuchsia pink color in the shape of a triangle.
Cool. That's what you needed to know.
Blinding, blindingly hot pink.
Awesome. Okay. Let me go into my Flora underworld and pull some cards. I feel like you know, and this is the visual that I got about I have to like go underneath my computer and come back up. Uh, in Sesame Street when Oscar the Grouch goes into his trash can world, he's like,
Uh-huh.
I gotta go downstairs. And he
Yeah.
has like conversations with all his worms. He comes back up. That's what I feel like. So excuse me for a moment.
You're literally underground.
It's so weird.
Huh.
That's my position. Oh. All right. I was really expecting a bright pink fuchsia triangle, but I did not get that.
No.
Um, you got in this order Neptune,
Mhm.
conjunction, and synchronicity.
Synchronicity.
Um, Initial feels on these before we do whatever we're gonna do next. What are your initial feels?
My initial feels is flat, bland.
Tell me more about that.
I think because I saw a synchronicity card. This card has come up more than once in the last. I think this card came up a couple of times yesterday. Is conjunction a different its own card?
Yeah, and it is not flat. Let me show you this.
Whoa, I've never seen that one before.
Dude, I feel like this deck does that all the time. Like, where did you come from? I've never seen this card before.
Wait, can I see synchronicity?
Yeah, I think it's only flat because it's black and white.
Okay. That's
But
not
it's not either. It's like
flat.
that's a fucking portal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And there's a diamond in the middle.
there's a diamond in the middle. Yeah.
And Neptune. Yeah, I think it was only because of that, to be honest. But that it's also not, I didn't use this deck. It was a different deck that said synchronicity.
You pulled synchronicity in a different deck.
Yeah.
Can we just
Acknowledge the synchronicity.
clichely acknowledge the synchronicity there?
Fine.
That's like so dumb and so awesome.
I feel like there's a realm of dumb and cheesy that is just totally me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a it's so good. I'm like reminded of the dumb feminine wound that's like
Hmm.
dumb and
Yeah.
the connotations of that. But to be the embodied dumb, like dumb to when you're just like so fucking in your feminine and like words are not there and like that
Yeah.
dumbness.
Yeah.
But also like when we're in that dumb space that's like totally broken open to the mystery.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
When all you can say is yeah and
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
You mean that's fine. But there for me, there's also another level of dumb that's like, this is so ridiculous. Like the bouncy ball thing that you you sent me. I love it so much. It's so dumb and it's so good. Um, and when I feel that level of dumb, I think about the comic card in the other deck that that you really hate. But I love it because it's so dumb.
I have a story about that card. I'm really glad that you said that you love it though. That does something for me. When we were outside of the Star House that first night on
Mhm.
retreat, And many of the women had already gone to sleep in the Star House.
Yeah.
You were outside for that, right?
Yeah.
And like the moon was rising.
Yeah.
The moon.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that. Ugh, dumb. Um, we were sitting there and pulled cards, and I pulled the comic, and it was like, I hate this card. And Kaylee spilled wax on it,
I remember.
and I actually just threw it away because it like sticks out of the deck because there's wax on it. And I was like, well, this is stupid. Like I already had this, like, so I threw it away. That's just true.
I was
But
wondering about that.
I
Like,
have now I feel kind of guilty. I'm like, oh, Kat, I'm so sorry. And I have I have a repeat deck. I have another deck
oh,
because
okay.
I'm using those as my business cards.
Yeah.
So I have another comic. I think I have to put it back in the deck.
uh,
Okay. Okay. Let's look at these cards. So we have, did I tell you I also pulled the box?
oh yeah.
Okay. The box, the healer, Neptune conjunction, and synchronicity. Um, synchronicity and the healer have the same snakes.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think I'm going to start with Neptune because I don't know Neptune well enough um, to channel it.
Okay.
Do you?
No.
Okay. Neptune is divinity, mysticism, seeking. Neptune is the mystic's planet. Its transcendent energy projects toward the heavens. When the Neptune card appears, the seeker archetype is activated and doorways to new dimensions open. A voice whispers from beyond the earthly plane, perhaps calling you to a pilgrimage or a new spiritual practice, or you may experience a meditative bliss beyond your wildest dreams. Divinity has arrived, whether you call it nirvana, enlightenment, or just good old serenity. Amidst your spiritual awakening, remember that ultimately the work is not about you. The work is about what's bigger than you. Stay grounded in that reality, and you're likely to avoid Neptune's pitfalls of narcissism and escapism. History shows us examples of spirituality turned madness, so keep your woo woo tendencies in balance with a little selfless service.
Right. Oh.
History shows us examples of spirituality turned madness. So keep your woo woo tendencies in balance with a little selfless service. I don't love that.
Me neither. That's why I said meh.
Okay, good. I
We
mean,
just nixed
yes,
we
but
nixed
that's,
that last sentence, but everything else is great. But
yeah, that
actually
feels,
I think I can speak to that um a little bit where yeah, once again, the culmination of where I started with spirituality. I'm saying these words loosely.
mhm,
Um, and this deep connection to body body guidance and intuition from here within.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was exactly my adjustment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that the term woo woo is terrible.
Me too.
That's like super hurtful,
Yeah.
especially when it comes from one of us. Like, that's some misogynistic,
Yeah.
witch woundy shit that sucks.
Yeah.
So
If-
that,
yeah.
but the spiritual turned madness is disembodiment.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bypass of how we run spirituality. That's through the body.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Anyway, what else landed for you in Neptune?
Um, I can't remember after we dissected that part, but it feels like I mean, it feels like where I'm at right now, where I'm landed right now in my body. I heard something about pilgrimage, which is a curiosity. Um, but I don't know that part actually.
I felt a little ping there too. Um, but the words that really hit me
Mm-hmm.
were are doorways to new dimensions. The doorways
Yeah.
to new dimensions are open.
Yeah, that too. That one got me too. I just didn't remember them.
Yeah, yeah.
Doorways to new dimensions.
How do you relate to the healer archetype now?
Mm, it for me just feels like natural, like it naturally is. Um, and I've kind of been in the space of like, okay, how do we allow natural healing that isn't like I'm here to heal you, which I'm not. That's kind of just been orbiting, but it doesn't feel like, oh, am I a healer? Am I not a healer? It doesn't, it's not that. It's just what is and the perpetuating cycle of like continuous, I need to heal something. That's just kind of been like, how do I operate integrously and um naturally, truthfully as a healer? But I see it comes up so often, and I'm like, okay, it feels natural now. True.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's seeping more into like, we don't need to say or speak it because we are. And I think about Jesus, you know, he just speaks and bees himself. And that is it. Quite simply.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the waiver within myself is just like not needing to the what is it? Like the unwounded big dick energy of like, you know it, you are it, you be it. Sometimes in spaces my ego is activated when people are like, ah. When I did this breath work, like people shared and everyone's, I'm gifted and my gift is da da da, and then they share their message, and I could feel myself being like, oh, I do stuff too.
Yeah.
That's like, but then I would like to just hold and have conversation and let me speak for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That's fucking normal.
Yeah.
I get that too. And like you can totally feel our little ones in there too that are like,
Yeah.
but my shirt's blue too.
Yeah.
See me.
Wait, I can gather a message somewhere. I can channel too. Like, okay.
Yeah. 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 And God, this one really gets me. The big dick energy when the room is like, let me show you.
Here's my dick.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's like sending dick pics. Like, bro, ew.
Nobody likes that. Keep your dicks to yourself.
And when you're when it's coming from a healed place, you don't have to send that shit.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows we can see your pants.
Yeah. And if you really want to know, we can get to know each other and you might see it in real life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can read your
Um,
mind, but I
yeah.
don't have to prove it.
Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Um, that is still working itself through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because the body gets so awkward. And you're like, okay, relax, girl. And I'm like, yeah, to myself. But then I can get I think to offset that or balance that, I just get smaller when there is space for me to like share or speak. I'm just
Mm.
gonna be
Nothing.
super quiet because my ego's showing really loud right now. But it's only me. Like only I know this.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that feels like a like yes, yes, coming from wound, but it feels actually like a titration where you're just like learning. Here's the
Mm-hmm.
place where ego wants to be like,
Yeah.
let me show you.
Yeah.
And then the awareness of like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. And so coming back, and it's just yeah, it's this like
Yeah.
titration and finding the center spot just takes
Time.
yeah,
Doing the thing.
yeah. I get I I saw this in myself again at this women's conference where there's these women on stage And I'm like, but what about me?
Yeah.
And I get like mad
Yeah.
and like resentful,
Yeah.
which is it's that same place that we talked about in hell, where the alchemist is always turning it back in, and it's so
Yeah.
easy to be like, you don't see me, you don't get me, but like
Yeah.
resentment, sweetie, what's up?
Yeah. Want to talk? You want to talk about it?
What's actually there?
Yeah.
Out. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I feel that like your orientation to the healer is again that like next level color zone where at least for me, like when I first dropped into this work, I was like, it felt really important for me to let people know that
Yeah.
I'm not doing the healing. Like, I needed to make a stand for that or something. I'm
Yeah.
not a healer. I'm not totally sure why I needed to do that, but I needed to do that. There was like a rejection actually of healer
Mhm.
that might actually come from a spiritual bypassy place that's like the healers that we see, and you're like, ew,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know. But there is a like yellow green in this teal zone now that's like actually it's true,
Mm.
and how we choose to relate to it is entirely on us, but it feels really clean coming from you.
Yeah. Yeah. I see. I feel that. And I'm reminded of I remember when I was on the cranberry farm and I came on a call and I was like, I'm a healer. That's it. And I was like floored by this feeling. And Valkyrie's one before that, I was like, oh, I don't like that word.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do actually think like there's also a moment in here when we have to claim it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that moves. Yeah.
And then we're playing with colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I am gonna have to go at the 30 mark. So
Okay.
I'm gonna keep moving.
Okay.
What do you make of the box? When you pull the box hard for someone else, when you pull it for yourself, what happens for you with the box?
With the box. What's in the box? That's the first thing that happens.
Hmm.
Is it with the red light in the middle and it's rainbowy on the outside?
Yeah. Hmm.
What happens for me? I, when I hear box, when I see box, um, always kind of feel like, mm, it's kind of like that wound that you and I worked on a lot of the times when I felt boxed in
Mm.
to blast out.
Hmm.
Um, is that like feeling boxed in, feeling limited space, and always wanting to like be be and think outside. Be outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it feels very like discharged right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The box for me has shifted over time.
Mm-hmm.
I think because of the same, like the associations that I have with the box is like, fuck it, break the box. There is no box.
Yeah.
But now when I pull it, I'm like reminded to one that like this is a both and that having a box is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a masculine job. Like we need a container. And like I can fucking value a box. But also that like when the box appears, that there's just like a new layer to break through.
Mm.
And there will always be the next layer.
Yeah.
Like we need the box and we also need to meet the edges of the box to find the next edges of the box to find the next edges of the box.
Yeah.
I want to actually just read some of this because it's like real. Like when the box popped out, I was like, the box, like that doesn't okay. But the words today are like on it. Um, this archetype represents everything that is known, anticipated, and expected. It holds us in place while simultaneously holding us back from our greatest visions. The box is sneaky, insidious, and everywhere, limiting us at the most unconscious levels. It is built of layer upon layer of social constructs and pressures. Breaking through it confines Breaking through its confines requires awareness, continued effort, and bravery. The box may appear as expectations from parents, a well paying but heartless job, the pressure to look or behave like others, or simply to stay small.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, liberated by the box.
Right?
Yeah. This piece was one of the strongest piece I was feeling into and was getting hard on myself about was like, okay, I know there is steady money on this end of choosing yes. And I could probably get an amount that I want and all these things like days, money, whatever, time. But I don't want it. And what happens when I say no?
Liberated by the box.
That's funny.
It's real good.
All right.
What do you feel? I feel like we'll leave conjunction, like be with conjunction on your own after this.
Yeah.
And let's spend the last like 90 seconds with synchronicity. Uh,
Okay.
I'm curious what sparks you in synchronicity aside from simply synchronicity. Like it's almost so obvious, you know?
He's trying to add more layers to it.
Let's make it mean more things.
Yeah.
Mm. Man, sometimes her little side notes, like the big message will be like, yeah, okay. But then the side ones are like, oh,
Yeah.
when this
Really.
card appears, something you cannot yet see is taking shape. It will soon emerge to support you. Trust, breathe, the miracle awaits.
Okay. Got it.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
I love you.
I love you.
Let me know what conjunction does for you.
Okay. I
It's a
will.
beautiful card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seen it.
And it's the very last card.